with me, Dr. Todd. Hey, this is going to be for our Facebook group. This is going to be probably about 15 to 20 minutes each time. So I wanted to set that framework. If you're listening to the podcast on iTunes or Google Play, you know that it's going to be that because you can see the ticker. You can see how long this is going to take. But hey, we're going to go right at it today. This is one of the craziest times that we've ever had to navigate through. And oftentimes, in the title of this, Why We Fall into Fear, oftentimes it is very, very, very easy to fall into fear. Fear, and I'm going to give you a formula for this, but fear is one of these things that can infiltrate right now almost hourly. Like we get going on a good track, we're okay, and then all of a sudden something derails us, and it's like, oh, did you hear about? And so what we are talking about, to put this in archives, we are talking about the concept of this COVID, which is the disease state that settles in, or the sickness, if you will, that settles in from the coronavirus, and it has created ultimately just chaos. It has created chaos. And I say chaos because we can't get the facts. We don't know what the facts are. There's a variety of different facts all over the place. And you can't tell if they're truth. You're trying to navigate through all these types of things, trying to figure out, hey, what does this mean? Does this really, is it as severe as it says it is? Do we trust the government? Do we not trust the government? But I will have you consider today that if you do not control this, if you do not control the facts that are coming in, that your attachment to these facts, that it has a very good probability of messing things up in your world. So I will admit, I wake up every morning in fear. I do. I wake up in just a pit right now, in the black. It's just like in the darkness. And it just happens. And I'm okay with admitting this because it's normal. And I want to give you guys some tips because you're likely doing it. You may be one of these people, and I used to be there all the time that wouldn't talk about it. We just suppress that, and then we actually come up and show, and that we're happy. Hey, we're good. Everything's good. Everything's just good. And I posted my podcast with a master mentor, as I call him, Sam Falsafi, part of Warrior Week, and walked back through how I got away from good, how I wanted to get away from good, because I knew good actually would sedate the great. You and I were destined for greatness. It's literally tattooed on our soul. But what happens in a time like this is that there is a freakishly weird kind of dis-ease. It's an unease that starts to settle in. It's like you walk through your day and you get through the day and it's just like, but at the end of the day, there's this dis-ease. It is settling in on everybody. I can see it in every conversation I have. I can see it in the eyes of people that frequent our office. It is everywhere. And you can't get away from it. So the tip and the trick today is to identify it, one, but two, how do we deal with this? Because this has greater life lessons. I just dropped in our Facebook group and email. We're talking about a shield. And so what I want you to consider today is that one of the best things that you could do, one of the best things that you do in your world is to is to develop a shield. And a shield looks like what? Well, I gave you some tips and tricks, but mentally controlling what you let in. I love this concept of quieting the noise. And I think you guys need to attach to this because this is what I wake up in the morning, I quiet the noise. I'm actually very selective on what I'm going to let in. And it's very, 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 it's very, very hard to do because like you can stay off of social media, you can stay off media in general, but somebody's going to hit you up. Somebody's going to have this conversation. What do you think about this? So one of two things, have the conversation, but control what you're attaching to this. All right. If you're waking up like in fear, like me, and it happens, it's because you're attaching to the unknown. You're attaching to the things. And I will give you the antidote for this. Literally the antidote for this. But you have to understand what fear is coming from. Fear is coming from the unknown, yes, but it's also coming from a lack of action. It develops from a lack of action. And a lot of us are standing here, we're like, I don't know what to do. Some of you that are not working or you've been let go, you're sitting at home like, I'd go get a job, but I can't. Or I'd actually go do this, but I can't. I'd go out and actually do this, but I can't. Every way we turn, we end up finding a wall that we're like, I can't do anything. But here's the concept, is that in this isolation, we can attach all sorts of stuff. And it's in the hesitation that develops this spark. It's in the hesitation of like the unknown. And I'll give you examples out of this, but I want you to think about, in the hesitation is the seed of fear. It develops, and you actually feed that hesitation or you don't. All right? This is why a lot of people, and let's walk through, in your body, a lot of people are like, gosh, if they actually hesitate to go to the gym, which I know you can't do nowadays because the gyms are going to be shut down. But in the hesitation of like, oh, if I had to go to the gym for the first time, I want to make a life change and go to the gym, I hesitate, all of a sudden fear starts to trickle in. And in the fear, I back away because I attach, and then I attach all these emotions, these cascades. I've said this so many times that you can put me on a surfboard in a wave, and I'm like fear all over the place because I don't know how to handle it. I really don't know how to handle it. I mean, I could probably figure it out and maybe just grab the board and try to ride it out, keep the tip up. I could try to figure it out, but I'd have absolute fear. You put me on a fishing boat on that same wave, I'm like, woohoo! I totally have enjoyment. Enjoyment because I got the possibility of catching a fish and all these other things. All right? So the concept is that what we attach to the situation will create the outcome. So if you're living in fear, like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how we're going to pull all this off. You know, Sunday nights filters in, and I don't protect that. Sunday night filters in, Trump's like unloads. Like, Easter sounded good, but here we are. Now we're probably talking June. And I'm like, June? June is like, like I literally I'm like, all right, April, May, June what? Give me something to anchor to. And then I'm like, okay, 3 months. 3 months of people being quarantined. 3 months of people not going out. 3 months of like chaos again, of an unknown. I'm like, this is not going to work. And immediately I can attach all sorts of like what could happen, all the wrongs that could come in, and we start to go down all of this pattern. All right? And I'm like, immediately then I start to go, oh my gosh, like fire sale, everything. You know, it's like, oh, but then I actually step back for a second. And this is where we control our thoughts. I have to step back for a second and say, hey, let's look at what we have going on. And this is what I can do. And you see, in that hesitant moment, I could jump into 100% fear. Or in that hesitant moment, I can kill fear by just moving into action immediately. And so that's what I'm challenging you to do today. All right? You may have COVID in your front door. Corona might be knocking at your door. I don't know. Maybe it's knocked at mine. Maybe it is upon me. And alls I know is what I can do. Alls I can control is what I can do immediately. I love this. Byron Katie once said this. She said, there's 3 types of business. There's God's business, Corona. There's your business, meaning you. And there's my business. And she used to ask the question, which do you think is the best to put your time and focus and energy towards? And that's my business. Right? So let me stay in my business. What can I do for me, and what can I do for my little family? And I put a list out of there of things to control with the mind, to have conversations, to keep it healthy, to keep it happy, to keep it upbeat. Otherwise, we start to go into the deep, dark pit, and fear starts to develop because we can't move. We don't know what to do. In your body, get moving. I don't know what kind of workout I should do. Gosh, this is the time that every personal trainer became online personal training. It was something I tried to start in 1998. I literally tried to start this in 98, and everybody was like, what? What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm just 22 years too early. It's all right. But it is the concept that you can connect. I saw Sarah on here. She's talking about doing online classes. There's online Zumba. Hit her up. This is what this is all about. This is what this community is for, is to create some movement. I'm teaching you daily to create some movement. With your mind, you can create movement. In solitude, in confinement, they said some of the most powerful people that ever went through wartime and when they were captured and everything like that could control what they attached to their experiences. And so what we have to do on a daily basis is to control what we can control, which is right here. That's it. Right now, you have no idea what's coming. So don't live in that business. That's God's business. All right. You may say the government, that's my business. Well, yeah, I got to control the government. All right. Give me one stress-free reason to stay there, because you standing up and making a scene is not going to impact that any more than what you could do immediately here for your family. Where is your energy? Where is your time best spent? And this is where you need to go and create movement. Help your family create movement. Okay, this is a great time to be able to level your game up. And I was saying in this group today, I said, well, who cares at the end if it's all false? And then we get into conspiracies and the government did this and all these types of things. What you have is what you've done. And what you've done is created a foundation for a healthy mind, soul, and heart, and even body by walking through the things that we're gifting you on a daily basis. That's it. The tip and the trick is just to move. If you're in stagnation right now, you're letting the seed of fear start to filter in. So what do? We go and build a shield. I love this. You just go and build the shield. I talked about this in our group briefly. But the Spartans were known for their shield. Their shield was the main thing. They had a beautiful sword, but they actually cherished their shields more than anything. And it was known when they go into battle that they would have their shield one way or another. They would go out with their shield and come back either carrying their shield or on their shield. That was the concept. And so what do you do daily to build your shield? Well, we protect this, all right? We protect what's coming in and at us. And by doing that, you actually build a stronger shield. You control what you attach to everything that comes in, all right? New York is going to blow up. All these different cases. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's pandemic. It's a pandemic. It's coming. It just hit New York. And now what do? We just start and wait. We wait. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. And we sit there in fear instead of doing what we can control. And that is getting your body and your immune system and your mind right. So that if it does come through and it is as serious as they think it is, then so what? We're ready. There's nothing more you could have done. And I love this concept on everything. Had a conversation with somebody losing a marriage. And he said, at least you lay it all on the table. I've done everything that I could possibly do in this situation to save my marriage. Happy day. Okay, it's not a happy day, but at least you know that you did everything. And I stand here, Corona takes out our family. I know that we did everything that we could do. And so I don't live in fear on the coronavirus. Because why? Because I'm supplementing our diet. We eat great foods. We exercise and control our minds, control our thoughts that we attach to all these types of things. And here's the concept. I'm going back and getting raw on this. It has to happen every day. Wake up in the darkness, in the pit. Wake up in the darkness. And I know you're doing it too. Because there's just a heaviness that exists within this idea. Whether it's true or not true, this is not the concept that I'm actually hitting on today. Because I can talk your ear off about that. I can talk your ear off about the statistics and compare it. But that doesn't matter. It's not serving anybody anymore. Because we are going to attach either fear to this or we're going to actually get to action and move. And some of the most beautiful things are going to come out of this. All right? Rebecca's on here. They've already created online classes for my little dancer to be able to continue to move. This is what we're doing. We're creating movement. This country will continue to move. With or without you, you jump on and continue to move. And in movement, you create joy, you create peace, you create happiness, you create all the positives. You don't move. You get stunned. That hesitation will take you out in the matter of fear. And understand you wake up like I do every day in this fear. We have to like literally shed the fear off. It's like you gotta climb your way out of that by doing what? Dealing with this. Dealing with your attachments, questioning your thoughts, questioning everything that you actually are going through on a daily basis. What do you wake up to? Bring Fox News on my phone. I'm like, I'm gonna kill that. I don't want to see that anymore. Totally killing that. Fox News, go away. Probably have to get a tech expert to get in and help me on my phone. Like, alerts. I don't want to see that anymore because that is the first thing that might filter in the middle of the night. Ding, ding, ding. I've already killed my cell phone. 6 o'clock, it's done. Like, I don't want anything more. I've done my work. I've done what I could do for today. Now it's focused on family. That's it. That's all we can do. And then you move in that direction. We move in our bodies. We move in our relationships. We move in our spirituality. And we move in our businesses so that it may be. It may be a world that we live in the truths. We live in the light and the love. Because one of the most serious things that could come out of this is a serious distrust and a serious disconnect. Your family, if they're pouring into video games right now, they're building disconnect. They are learning how to disconnect. They are learning how to distrust everybody else. And when we get back together, it's going to need some healing. Start doing the healing at home right now. Talk, engage. Talk about the things. Talk about the elephant in the room. Protect those little minds. Walk them through. They've lost everything. Connect with them. And in about 16 minutes, we've wrapped it up. What are you taking from this? A ton of people are jumping online right now. That's awesome. What are you taking home? How does this apply to you? Do you wake up in fear every morning? Because you're either recognizing that it's there and doing something about it, strangling it, grabbing it by its throat, and killing the fear with movement and action that you can do, that you can control, not God's business, not your business, my business. I move into that so that it may be a healthier environment, or I let that fear take me over. To where the next thing they're going to prescribe for this country is a bunch of Paxil to calm the country. Instead of doing things, you're going to get a check with some Paxil to settle you down, to numb your mind, to be able to disconnect you even more. Ladies and gentlemen, this group was formed and not just to drop health, not just to connect at a different level, but to allow you to keep connected. Connected in your body, connected with your family, with your significant other, connected spiritually so you can maintain your purpose that you were destined for. Do not let fear disconnect you from that. Do not let that fear tackle you on a daily basis. When you wake up, you have to shut it. And if you're sitting here and like, I don't live in fear, then you've already missed it. Because it's already filtering in. It's already starting to choke hold you. Peel those hands off and choke it back. By movement, by getting into action, to killing the hesitation. There is something in your world right now that you've hesitated about doing. And you need to go and do it. I don't know where it is. It's in your body. It's in your relationships. It's in your spirituality. Maybe in your business. But you need to go kill it. Like, go get it done. And you'll find in this momentum of actually doing what you can control, you will actually grow exponentially. You will grow. And you'll find fear isn't just part of what you do. You may wake up in it, but you shed it every day by controlling these thoughts. In love and light, you guys, that's all I got for you today. We will talk to you next time.